everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Moody Pages. I'm Chanel. So I am going to be doing a quick little makeup. Get ready with me. I don't know why I'm waving around this wet rag. It's supposed to be like my paper towel to kind of like rinse off any glitters or, you know, I don't know, the icks when you're doing your makeup. I always wash my hands after I put on like foundation or something. Like when I'm touching my face. Anyways. I'm gonna do a little get ready with me. I have some new products, new product and old products that I started using since I reorganized my makeup drawer. I found some stuff and I'm like, okay, we need to play around with this again. And I also did an Insta poll on my book Instagram, and I was like, okay, do you guys want to see a books I read in July or books I hope to read in August? And by a landslide, books I read in July won. So here we go. I kind of want this to be a quick-ish video, but knowing me, it's not going to be that quick. So let's go ahead and start. Here's my little makeup kit that I brought with me. So the first book I read was Heartstopper. It's the volume 1. I totally am spacing on authors. Like, I know the book's just basing on authors. So if you don't know what Heartstopper is, this is also now a TV show. I forget where it's on, but it's a manga, and it's about a boy named Charlie, and he's only openly gay boy at school, and he was bullied for it, but now not so much. It's kind of like the wave passed of being bullied. And then he started becoming a rugby player. He did become a rugby player, but he started becoming friends with a rugby player, and that boy's name was Nick. And they kind of started to develop this little friendship, and it's pretty cute. And Charlie's starting to fall like head over heels for Nick. And I guess the question is, how does Nick feel about him? I thought that book was the manga was really sweet, really cute, really wholesome. So 5 stars. It was really cute. The next book I read was The Wife Between Us, and this is a thriller. Wait, if you guys wanted to know, this is the Huda Beauty Naughty palette, and I'm gonna go into the shade Hypnotic, which is this like pink one right here. So I didn't really know what to expect for this one, because, you know, it's kind of like a love triangle. This girl, her husband left her for a younger girl, and this whole entire time we're following the wife, and she's like obsessed with this new wife, and you're trying to figure out, well, is it that she's obsessed with the wife? Is she obsessed with her husband? And she's trying to figure out ways to get him back. And my dog's looking out the window, and it's just a really interesting thriller. I would recommend it. I had a fun time with it, and I gave it 4 stars. So I thought it was pretty good. So got a little bit of black liner, and then I did white on the under eye, or the waterline. Okay, so I entered my cozy mystery era, and I read One Poison Pie, and this is about a girl named Mia Malone. She came to visit, oh my gosh, she came to live with her grandma in a small town in Idaho, and I guess it's like pretty an open fact that there's witches and warlocks in their little town, and she is a kitchen witch, and she is trying to start a new chapter, and she hired her ex-boyfriend's little sister to be her sous chef. She's a caterer, and she opens up her business, and her first client, they get there and the client's dead. So then she has to figure out, you know, who killed her client, and is she gonna get paid still if her client's dead? So anyways, it was just a really fun, really cool, cozy mystery. I loved the magical aspect of it, and there was a little bit of paranormal stuff going on. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I give it a 4-star because there were some things that I wanted closed, but it wasn't necessarily closed. I'm gonna quickly, you can kind of tell my face is already kind of sweaty, but I'm gonna put some of this spray on to kind of make the skin a little more moist. Here's the new product that I got. It's the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, or Camo CC Cream. I have tried the Camo Concealer, and that's supposed to be like a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. So this one would definitely be a dupe for the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, because that IT Cosmetics one just covers everything so fully. It's nuts. This one pretty much does the same. So I know I've shared, did I bring it? Oh, I did bring my lash curler. I've gone on and on and on about my Tower 28 Beauty tinted sunscreen. First off, this has more sunscreen than the Tower 28, and this one actually looks better on my skin than the Tower 28 one, which, because I was in love with the Tower 28, I bought 2 of them, so I already am going through one, and then I have a backup of that one. And then I bought this one just to try out for fun. So I'm probably gonna stop buying the Tower 28 and actually just go to this one. So here's one pump, and I will just apply everywhere. So the next book I read is right over here, called The Soulmate. Like, isn't this nuts? Like how much it covers just from that one tiny little pump. Anyways, so that is a thriller. I personally think it's more of a mystery. Goodreads says it's a thriller. I think it's a mystery. It's about this couple. They live on the edge of a cliff, and a lot of people go there to take their own lives. And her husband, the main character, Pippa, her husband, which I'm also like totally blanking on his name, but her husband's really good, and he's really good about talking down everyone that goes to the cliff, until like one day she sees him out there, and it looks like he pushed her, like the person that fell off the, or you know, is it fell off or is it that they jumped off the cliff? And so that totally, you know, messed her up. Like, oh my gosh, like who was that? Why did he do that? And then she finds out later who it is, and it starts bringing up a lot of stuff between them. So I thought it was really good, very different. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do have a reading vlog of this, and it's a Summerween vlog, and check it out. Okay, this thoroughly looks really good on the skin. Again, I think that it kind of helps having that spray to moisturize my skin a little more. I do see a little smile line here, but it is what it is. The next book I read was Lessons in Chemistry, and it's over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm shocked at this one. I had no idea what to expect, because Goodreads says historical fiction, and then it does say romance in there, and then it mentions feminism, so I was a little confused what this book was gonna be like. Since it's a historical fiction, this takes place in, I think the 60s. In the 60s, and it's a really like male-dominated field. There is some essay that happens, and that was really hard to, I actually listened to it, I didn't read it, so that was hard to listen to. But it was a really good book. She falls in love with this scientist that is actually really known for holding grudges and being really mean, which I think is fitting for her. And she finds herself as a single mom, and she ends up having a cooking show, which, if you know me at all, I love cooking, and I grew up on Food Network. So she started having a cooking show, and her cooking show came with a twist. She was teaching all these very, what do you call it, scientific terms for like salt and, you know, just fun stuff. So her show ended up being more empowering women to be scientific and just, what do we call it, challenge the status quo about women cooking and being a stay-at-home mom and cooking. And she gained a big following for doing that, but also that following came with a ton of backlash because clearly, you know, it's the 60s, women are not supposed to be empowered in no scientific terms. So that was a really interesting read. I absolutely loved it. So this is my Makeup by Mario bronzer. It's hit pan. It kind of stinks that it's hit pan already. I'm just gonna go in and put stuff all over. Okay, so the next book I read, this one I actually listened to, it was Scarred by Emily McIntyre. And that one I actually know because I follow her on Instagram and absolutely love her books so far. So this one was kind of weird because it was a retelling of The Lion King, which, how are you gonna retell that? And she did. So I was trying to figure out who the characters were throughout the whole entire thing. And Tristan Fossa is Scar. He's trying to take down his brother's kingdom, which is Michael. And then there's also another girl that's trying to take down Michael Fossa. Her name is Sarah. And then that reminded me, okay, Sarabi was Mufasa's wife. Sarah? Sarabi? Okay, we're following. And then Sarah in the book is trying to take down the kingdom, but then she realizes that she and Tristan kind of have a common goal, but he's technically the enemy because she's trying to take down the throne, and he is also part of this, you know, bloodline of people that she's trying to take down. So anyways, it's kind of like a forbidden love, enemies to lovers type of situation there. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this palette from Alamar Cosmetics, and it's just their bronzer, but I'm gonna touch up everywhere that I just put my bronzer. The next book I read after Scarred was Fourth Wing, and I also no, I have that. I'm currently making a vlog about that, so vlog to come. I honestly thought I was going to hate it because by page 50 I was wanting to DNF it and just, oh, this is not good, what is everyone talking about? But it was really good. So if you don't know what Fourth Wing is about, it's about this girl named Violet. She's been training her whole entire life to become a scribe like her dad. But then her mom, who is the general of the Riders Quadrant, of like their dragon army essentially, she demands that her daughter, Violet, audition, train something for the Riders Quadrant. But the Riders Quadrant is so perilous, dangerous. So many people die trying to even pass the first test. During the whole entire time, it's, you know, people are dying left and right, and it's nuts how dangerous it is. And Violet is very easily, like, she's really fragile, breaks easily, breaks bones easily, I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of the gist of it, is she graduates or she dies. Okay, so then here's another old product, is this Party Tarte blush. I had hit pan on it a while ago, and why I stopped using it, I don't know. So then the next book I read was King of Battle and Blood, which I was actually gifted by a friend, and I listened to this on audio. It's a fantasy romance book. It's about this vampire king, and he's taking over this one kingdom. As a truce, this girl tells her dad, just give me up for marriage and I'll try and kill him and we'll be one big happy kingdom again. She's trying to figure out ways to kill him, but does she really want to kill him now? Because she's learning more about him, and he's actually like not a douchebag like she thought, and not a bad person. Go do some highlighter in this Jaclyn Cosmetics one. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan. Next book I read was Light Lark. I technically listened to this, and oh my god, it was nuts. If you listen to it, tell me if I'm wrong, but the narrator was saying Isla, and whenever I see the name Isla, Isla, I think Isla, and then this person was saying Isla. And then so many other people were saying, no, it's Isla, because I posted this on my Instagram story. And they're like, no, it's Isla or it's Isla. And no, it's Isla. But anyways, we're not going to talk about the name. I really wanted to give this book the benefit of the doubt because this received so much hate on Instagram when it came out, because it has a movie deal before it even published. And apparently her parents are like movie producers or something like that, so it wasn't a fair fight, or I don't know, it wasn't fair to some people that she got this movie deal already when so many people struggled to begin with to get their book recognized by people. So like every year, every 100 years, this island appears and they're trying to break a curse, and it's literally just the Hunger Games, but more YA, more young adult, but she tries so hard to not be young adult because she tries to throw in some spicier scenes in there, and the spicy scenes also just don't do it for me. It was just not a great book. I didn't enjoy it at all. There was maybe like 2 parts where I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good, and then it just, I don't know, boring to me. It was not good. I'm also just not a fan of the Hunger Games trope where it's fight to the death. So, like a bunch of people just fight for their lives. Not a fan. Next book I read was Two Wicked Desserts. This is actually book 2 of One Poison Pie. They're so good. Okay, I think this is probably one of my favorite cozy mystery series now. It definitely has that good like magical feel. It's very cozy because it's still talking about food. It's just really good. The dead body is found in Mia's backyard because her backyard is open, and it also attaches to a hiking trail. So of course she's now a suspect and she has to clear her name again. Her grandma has someone over that's visiting, and we find out that she accidentally cast a spell without really meaning to. So was the spell to kill him, or what's going on with that spell? Is she intentionally or unintentionally a murder? So that was good. I'm gonna go back in with some setting spray again. The second to last book I read was the Book of Azrael, and I read this for my Romantasy book club, and I was not excited about it because the premise of the book just seemed boring to me. It's not something I would typically read, and the cover also just didn't excite me. Everything about it just screamed meh to me. But this book was anything but meh. Did it need to be this long? No, it did not need to be this long. But it's like about gods and goddesses, and there's this girl named Diana. She made a deal with let's say, like, she made a deal with the devil. She bargained her life in exchange for her sister's life, so now her sister's life is like leverage over making sure she does what this guy wants to do. And then there's this god named Sam Keel, but then he goes by Liam, and it does go into that, but I just thought it was kind of funny there. It's like this, you know, ancient name, and all of a sudden his nickname is also World Ender. Diana's been creating some destruction, and she has ruffled his feathers, so he comes down to try and whoop some butt. And it's really good. 5-star read for me. I don't want to go more into it because it is kind of like twisty in the plot twists, so I can't go that much into it, but it's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm very surprised that I liked it. So if I liked it, I think that says something. Okay, and then the last book I read was Death by Dumpling, and I think this one's by Vivian Chan, something like that. This is a cozy mystery, and I was supposed to read this for Peter Mon's book club for August, but I ended up reading it July 31st, and I read it on my plane ride home, and it was just so good. So it's about this girl, Lana. It was about this girl, and she is back working at her family's restaurant called Holy Noodles, and she went through a massive breakup. She went through like a toxic work environment, so she left, and now she's, you know, working there. She makes a delivery to their property manager, Mr. Fang, and a few hours later she comes to find out that he died from a shellfish allergy from something he ate. And it's like well known that he has this allergy, so they have to be very careful about their food that they make for him. So now her and her family's business is being questioned for the death of him. And she has to figure out who actually killed him before, like, to help clear her name, her family's name in the business so it doesn't affect them. There's no magical aspect to it, so I did appreciate that that was different for me, because most cozy mysteries do have a magical aspect to it. At least the ones I've read. And I liked that there was different culture heritage about it as well. I appreciated the diversity of it. Alright, so that's all the books I read in July. I hope you guys liked this a little bit more. I know it was kind of quick. I'm looking at the camera right now and it's not quick. We're at like 21 minutes right now, so hopefully I can edit this down just a little bit. Okay, so I hope you guys like the makeup look. It's pretty basic, pretty everyday. I like it. I hope you guys like that. I put in a little bit more effort in trying to remember the books, like what they were. I don't know if I was consistent in giving them ratings. I know King of Battle and Blood I did not give a rating to because I'm still like meh about it. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the books, the makeup look, any makeup products you saw that you want to try, or suggestions for the next video. I'm open ears, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!